Hi, this is Tim here, and today I have a comic book review for The Walking Dead Volume 1, Days Gone By. I'm going to start a new series of Walking Dead Volume comic book reviews. I'll be doing a review for each volume, and because it's these volumes came out like 10 years ago, I'll be basing it to the TV series, as you can see in the picture. So as I read the review the comic to you, I'll be mentioning, oh, and this so and that so did not happen or did happen in the TV series. I will be giving away spoilers about the TV series and the comic books. So if you haven't read them or watched it, don't listen to this video because it will spoil it. I haven't read all the volumes of The Walking Dead. I only read volume 1 so far, but I have seen every episode of the TV series so far, and I also do reviews for the TV episodes. Now here's the review. In the beginning of the comic, it starts out almost the same as the TV series, where he's, trying to chase someone that gets robbed a bank or was committing a crime, and he gets shot and put into a coma. And he wakes up, and it's the zombie apocalypse. When he wakes up, he has no clue what's going on. There's no nurses, no one in the hospital. And so he walks outside, and he walks outside his door and sees there's a dead man on the ground, but his face is demented, like a zombie's would. So he opens a door, and there's zombies crawling all over the floor, and he's just shocked by what's going on. So he goes outside, and he's walking back to his house. He passes a zombie that's cut in half, actually, and he takes a bike and rides back to his house. And when he's riding back to his house, a little black kid, not to be racist, grabs a shovel and smacks him in the back of the head and passes out. And the kid's father and him are like, "Oh, you hit him. He's not a zombie. Well, they don't call him zombies in this. They actually call him the dead. He's not a dead one. He's not one of them. He's not a walker. He's a normal human." So Rick Grimes talks to them saying, "I have no clue what's going on. I was in a coma, blah blah blah," and all that happens. And then Rick Grimes takes these two people back to the police station to take showers and have some guns. And then they split up, and Grimes goes to the city because he thinks his wife might be there. And on the way he loses gas and stops at a house for some gas, and there was no gas there, and also there's no people there. But he finds a horse, so he takes the horse to the city, and he gets overrun by walkers. And this is the first time you see a bunch of walkers eating the horse. Now this is a huge part between the TV series. So far it's going normally, but instead of meeting, there's a lot less people in the TV series based on the comic book series. He finds Glenn, and instead of taking him back to part of the roof, where there's about 10 survivors, he takes them directly back to camp. So locking up the old man on the roof with instead of meeting all those people and I forgot his name, locking that man up to the roof, chained to the thing where eventually his hand comes off and he comes back in the 3rd season. That never happens. So he goes right back to the campsite and meets Lori and the son. And he also meets Shane, and Shane's like, "Oh, I helped him out. I helped your son and wife get to safety, blah blah blah." So he owes Shane a lot of thanks. But Shane and Lori obviously had a relationship kind of going because apparently Rick was dead, but obviously he wasn't. So he just talks to all the survivors at the camp, saying "I never noticed what's been going on. I just was in a coma. And then Shane and Rick go out hunting, and the old man tells him, don't trust Shane. He's been acting weird. He likes your wife. And he's like, you're just crazy, old man. So and why they're Shane and Rick are hunting, 3 of the wives, including Lori, just talk about women's rights and all that, but that's not really mentioned in the TV series. And so Carl, who is the wife, Carl, who is the son, is he seems a lot younger in this comic than he is in the TV series. Also, so they go hunting, and they find a zombie eating a deer, and it switches back to the wives walking back to the camp, and I think like 2 zombies attack the whole hideout, and no one gets hurt, but the old man saves the person's life. They don't use the names yet in this, so it's kind of hard to like give you a description. I don't want to guess a name because it might not be the person I'm thinking of, because like based on the TV series. But so Rick runs back to Lori, and then no one really dies. It was just 1 zombie, and then they go back to bed, and they can't really fall asleep because, like, you know, the zombies are here and they're afraid of what's going on. So Shane's on top of the RV looking out of the camp, and then Rick walks up and says, "Oh, what's going on? I think we should move. It's not safe here." And then this is where Shane goes a little bit crazy. He's like, "Fuck no, we're not leaving. We're staying here." And Shane's going a little bit more crazier earlier in the series than he does in the TV series, because Shane actually dies in the TV series about in the end of the 2nd season. So then Rick talks to Glenn about how they should go to the city to find guns, and then on the way there, they're afraid that the gun store is 4 blocks farther than they went in before, and they're like, "We can't ever get there. It's like impossible." So they see a dead zombie on the ground, and they say, "I have an idea. Zombies they know each other apart from their smell." So this is what happens, where they chop the zombie up and throw the zombie guts all over their body. And in the TV series, they actually do this in the middle of the city to get out. So that's another difference. And so the zombie guts work, and they go to the gun store. They get a cart full of guns, and they're leaving the city, and it starts to rain like it does in the TV series. So now the zombies are attacking them because the rain washed out the smell. So they still get back to camp nice and safe, but not as many guns as they wanted. So then the day after that, once they come back with all the guns, they have gun practicing. And Carl, the son, actually uses a gun already in this. And it took him a lot longer in the TV series to use a gun. And then they go back that night, and it's actually winter in the comic series, when in the TV series it was like 100 degrees outside. And that night, zombies come, not just 1, but like 10 of them. And someone gets scratched, and so somebody gets scratched, and nobody, no, sorry, yes, that's where Andrea's sister dies, which happens in the TV series. And then they bury their dead, hope it never happens again. And this is where Rick's like, okay, now it's just not safe at all. We have to leave. We already have Andrea's sister dying. So Rick talks to Shane, saying, "Shane, we gotta go talk in the woods." And Rick's like, "Dude, we gotta move. We can't stay here. We gotta leave." And Shane's like, "No, god damn it, we're not moving. We're not doing this." And then Shane just goes out of control and is like, "You son of a bitch, no! We're not doing this." And he, before all this happened, there was a little, like, fight going on between them. So, like, when they're in the woods, Shane pulls a gun to Rick, saying, "I'm gonna shoot you. This isn't right. You shouldn't be here. You should be dead." So then, right before Shane's about to shoot him, Carl walks up and shoots him in the neck. and he dies. And he says, "Don't hurt my daddy again." And so basically, it's a whole different story. And so he dies in the first volume. Shane dies in the first volume of The Walking Dead. He's a lot bigger part in the TV series. And instead of Carl actually shoots Shane, instead of Rick shooting Shane. But Rick shoots Shane, then he turns, becomes a zombie, then Carl shoots him. But still different. So that's basically that happens in the whole series of The Walking Dead Volume 1. Basically just getting up to the point where they're at the campsite, they realize that they should move, and Shane dies. And obviously Rick meets his family. So I'm gonna go read the second volume now and make a review on that. So see you next time on my next review. And I'll be doing Walking Dead reviews, and after I read maybe 4 or 5 volumes, I'll do a video basing all the comics to the series, because you're probably really interested in seeing what characters are and what characters aren't in it. About to do some more research on that. So I'll see you next time on my next Walking Dead review.